Hey everyone, I'm Albert Boris. So, a couple of weeks ago I started a new video series where I predicted Mario Kart X, the speculated next game in the series. The first part was about retro courses and it was a lot of fun to make, so now let's continue on. In the second part we're gonna delve into the character roster, and this is definitely one of the areas I'm most interested to see how Nintendo would handle. Just like the economy, the character rosters in Mario Kart games have always gone up and down in quality. Sometimes it's pretty average, other times it's quite amazing, and then there are times where we're in for a deep recession. Mario Kart 8 was interesting to say the least. What originally started off as an uninspired collection of clone characters and Koopaling spam, slowly but steadily ended up becoming the most massive roster in the series, with fan favorites, curveballs, and even crossover characters. How could we possibly follow up on this?
Well, obviously. Since it's called Mario Kart X, we're gonna have a playable Elon Musk.
Seriously? No, let's tone down on the crossover characters for the next game. It was cool to see them once, but at the same time I also want the next game to stay as Mario Kart rather than becoming Nintendo Kart. But yeah, I think the next game should take a small step back as far as character amount goes. Having 48 characters again would be a bit too much to start off with, especially if we'd also get DLC later anyways. And regardless, quality is better than quantity anyways. So instead, let's decrease that number to 36 characters, 12 medium weights, 12 lightweights, as well as 10 heavyweights. That would be decently balanced, I think. So with all that being said, let's fill out the roster now. First, let's open up with the default characters you'd start off with. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Yoshi, Toad, Toadette, Shy Guy, Koopa Troopa, Wario, Waluigi, Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, Bowser, and the baby characters. These are the 16 characters I'm 100% certain will make it into the next game. Most of them have been playable since the dawn of Mario Kart, and even the ones that haven't are easily recognizable as main characters. Okay, maybe not baby Rosalina, but at least for consistency, I'll include them as well. And moreover, they're kinda basic and predictable to a point that it wouldn't really be as exciting to unlock them anymore. Like sure, Rosalina may have been a big deal in Mario Kart Wii since she was still new at that point, but nowadays she's really just another main character. Next, let's move on to the 20 unlockable drivers, starting with returning characters from past Mario games, where we have Birdo, Pauline, Bowser Jr., Drybones, Kamek, King Boo, Dry Bowser, Metal Mario, and Pink Gold Peach. Yeah, I'll elaborate a bit further on that later. Obviously, Pauline is kinda set in stone. Ever since the revival in Super Mario Odyssey, she's made so many appearances in Mario spin-off games, including the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course pass, that I really can't see a universe where we wouldn't get her. Birdo, Bowser Jr., Drybones, and Kamek are the kinds of characters that feel like they should have always been part of the roster. They're iconic fan favorites, and the fact that they've only made like 1 or 2 playable appearances does kinda surprise me. Especially Kamek, like this dude was scrapped twice before he finally made an appearance last year with the Booster Course pass. King Boo may not be as important as the other guys I mentioned, but he's nevertheless an incredibly iconic villain. And then of course, I also mentioned 3 clone characters. Now yes, as much as I hate clone characters, I feel like it's inevitable that we get at least a few of them, and well, in the end, these are kind of the most harmless ones. Metal Mario and Dry Bowser at least feel different from their source characters, having different voices, as well as looking a bit different. At least compared to something like Tanuki Mario, which is literally just Mario in different clothes. And not only does Pink Gold Peach kinda line up with the other two this way, but it also makes Metal Mario feel a bit less out of place since at least they'd have a racing partner now. Even if Green Bronze Luigi would be cooler. But yeah, as far as returning characters go, they're the only ones I feel like really should be brought back. So what about the other playables I didn't mention? Well, you may have noticed a bit of an overlapping similarity between them. They're all curveballs, each connected to a particular game in the franchise. See, the problem isn't that I dislike them. In fact, it's actually quite the opposite. Curveballs are more often than not the characters I play as the most, just because it's fun to play as a character you normally wouldn't be able to use. However, it's because of their exclusivity, not in spite. If Rob was playable in every single Mario Kart game, the novelty would wear off pretty quickly, like it did for Rosalina. And now yes, on one hand, the Booster Course Pass did bring back a few of these curveballs, but I'm gonna mark it as an exception, just because that DLC was kind of marketed around bringing back old things anyways, so yeah. Now that that's out of the way though, let's talk about new characters. What additions could freshen up the roster this time? I have 7 slots left, which I think would be a decent amount of newcomers. Not too many, but enough to make the roster stand out from other games. Or well, 4 of these characters have already been playable in Mario Kart Tour, but like, that game had pretty much every character in existence, so I'm not really gonna count that. First up, we have Nabbit. This is a character I was genuinely surprised didn't make an appearance in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Boosty Course Pass. Not just because it's become an increasingly common character these days, even being playable in Mario Wonder, but also because he's just kind of intriguing. Maybe they just didn't have time for him, but regardless, I think we could definitely see him in the next game. Hammer Bro is another character I feel was kinda snubbed from the Boosty Course Pass. He was actually going to be playable in Mario Kart Wii, with even a character select icon being found in the game's files, but alas, he's kind of been left in the dust since, which is sad because he has a lot of potential. In Mario Kart 8, some of the characters like Yoshi and Birdo have alternative colors you can play as, which greatly increases the amount of characters you can technically play as, and well, Hammer Bro could also have alternative costumes. Imagine if you could also play as a Fire, Boomerang, Gold and Ice Bro. That would be quite amazing in my opinion. But let's talk about some more obscure characters as well. Nabbit and Hammer Bro would be new, but they wouldn't be out of the blue, and just like with some other characters I mentioned, I feel like they should have been common staple already. No, let's talk about some curveballs now, that would really make the roster stand out. How about King Bob-omb? This is a character a lot of people wanted for the Boosty Course Pass from what I've seen. And while I've never felt too passionate about him, I can't deny how much it would blow my mind. I mean, imagine a huge Bob-omb driving a cart, throwing his own men on the battlefield. Man, this just gets weirder when I think about it. Just please bring him in, Nintendo. And speaking of weird characters, why not Poochie? I remember being absolutely shocked when it was first teased as a playable in Mario Kart Tour, and similarly, I think it could work as a real odd choice again for the next game. Sure, on one hand, he's more of a Yoshi character than a Mario character, but like, if we could have Funky Kong in Mario Kart Wii, then this would hardly be any more far off. And most people love dogs, so where's the harm in him? And lastly, let's come up with 3 characters who've never been playable in any shape or form, not even in Mario Kart Tour. So first off, I think it's no secret that Nintendo seemingly loves to create baby characters out of nowhere. Both Baby Daisy and Rosalina were created solely to fill out the rosters of Mario Kart Wii and 8, but if we're gonna get another one, why not a baby that actually has relevance to the main series, like Baby Wario? Not only was he playable in Yoshi's Island DS, but he would also be a bit of a different baby character. Maybe not as traditionally cute as the other ones, but come on, at least it would be unique.
Albert Boring. Coping as usual. Deep down, we all know it's gonna be Baby Pauline.
No. Yeah, as much as I'd prefer Baby Wario, I feel like it's more likely that Pauline would get a baby counterpart, especially with Pauline making a huge resurgence in the Mario franchise. To be honest, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, at least it would be a female baby character who's not a princess for once, but man. As long as we have a lot of other interesting characters as well, I won't really care.
Just kidding, we're getting baby Elon Musk!
Next up, how about another more niche character? The Mario franchise is home to a lot of obscure characters that often only had one game appearance. Flood, Lubba, Cappy, Mad Mirage. In fact, Prince Florian is probably going to be forgotten very soon as well, so it's safe to say that we shouldn't really hold out for them to make a Mario Kart appearance. However, maybe at least something like that is available. How about the main NPCs found in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Poplins? Just like with the Hammer Bros, they too could come in different colors, like they do in Mario Wonder. So yeah, while they're a bit of a specific character, I feel like they're basic enough that they're still kinda safe. And lastly, for the final slot, how about another female heavyweight character? This is definitely something Nintendo has kind of struggled to come up with, seeing as they previously shoved in Honey Queen and Pink Gold Peach, characters who were generally irrelevant for the franchise. But just like I said for the baby characters, instead of conceiving something brand new we have never heard of, why not bring in an actually significant character? Someone who was first fought in Super Mario 3D Land perhaps? Pom Pom. This would honestly slay so hard. Not only is she a recurring character with a unique design, but it would also be a female villain character, something we don't really have a lot of in the Mario franchise.
Wait, wouldn't it be weird if we had Pom Pom but not Boom Boom too though?
Well, yes, on one hand, Boom Boom, her partner, is an infinitely more relevant character. But not only is he more boring, with far less personality, but Pom Pom was already playable in Super Mario Party, without Boom Boom being present at all, so it could definitely happen again. So yeah, those are the 36 characters I believe we could see in the next...
32 characters, and you still did not pick Elon Musk.
I told you I was cutting down on crossover characters.
You will predict him, or else.
Actually, wait a second. I did just realize I forgot a very integral character. Mies! How am I ever going to fit them into the roster now? Actually, they can just occupy their own row, like they do in Mario Kart 7. So yeah, make that 37 characters. Assuming, of course, that the next Nintendo console still has Mies. I remember when they used to be such a big part of the previous consoles. Now on the Switch they're just tucked away in the system settings, like how sad is that? So who knows if we'll even have that possibility next console. But regardless, if we'll get Mies, you'd still be able to place your Elon Musk. Maybe even baby Elon Musk. So there, Bertrell, now I'm technically predicting him. Satisfied?
I'll let it go for now, but next time, I won't be so generous.
Anyways, that concludes my character predictions for Mario Kart X. In the next part, I'm gonna be going over Nitro Course predictions. Or items. Let me know which one interests you the most, but in the meantime, what are your character predictions? Did you agree with me or not? If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel as I talk about everything Mario related. Follow me on Discord, Twitter and Patreon. I'll see you all soon. Until next time.